Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for my client Jack's Vlogs. And we started this week off with a floor press day with lighter weight. I wanted to give his pec a little more time to recover. I want to give a little more time to recover, and notice we're doing all floor pressing outside of his singles later. So again, I want to be very, very careful of overstretching his pec at the bottom right now because we were borderline at overuse. And, he had told me that, yeah, this happened to him at his last powerlifting meet, that he pulled a pec ahead of time and only benched 225. So I want to be very careful of that because we want his bench over 300 coming up at this meet, which is actually this month. Right, it's coming up this month, so we're real close. So, again, our day was pretty straightforward. Day was very, very straightforward. We just did some tricep extensions, some one-arm dumbbell rows, and floor pressing. Okay, all for sets of 10, right? Sets of 10. And we went over to a squat day next. So I took 185 kg. Again, we're going to do some heavy singles coming up. Then we did back off work at 70% for assistance. We did good mornings, reverse hypers. And we pretty much didn't have access to everything we wanted, right? I don't have access to everything I wanted. Is this temporary gym he's at for now. But he did mention, though, he likes the good mornings. He really enjoys these. And we hope to get stronger at them, right? That's the goal. We want to get stronger at these because they will address his weak links. But yeah, it's the new gym he's at for temporarily because he just moved. And he wants to use this gym just to peak for the meet because they have Alico plates. And so, again, he wants to make sure that he's meet ready. He wants to get used to using the calibrated plates, which he found out on Deadlift the other day. A lot of people will, use gym plates for deadlifts, and then they wonder why they can't deadlift the same thing. And, I mean, it's pretty bad for, say, sumo pullers, for example, who use normal 45s with a whippy bar or a deadlift bar. They're absolutely shocked at the difference, when they get to a competition and have to pull. And even worse if they're at a meet that uses a stiff bar. Yeah, they're in trouble usually. Guys will pull, 650 at the gym who bomb 600 in competition. Just because of that. So you have to be aware of those things, of the bar differences. But he did do some good mornings, which we haven't done in a while. And again, we know that his hamstrings are a weak link. So anything that we do for the hamstrings, he feels we get a good training response. But yeah, so just trying to use the equipment that we have here available, which we had to adjust some things. He ended up doing good mornings, and he ended up doing hyper extensions. So we use the 45-degree hyper bench here. And some of that's still the old sheet I have in the background, as we had to make changes through the week. So this is what I had used, was previously what I gave him, but he had to adjust, and we discussed the adjustments, based upon the equipment he had right there in the middle of the week. But still, this is decent accessory work for what we're doing. So again, we do squats. We did back off squats. We did good mornings, and then he did the 45-degree hyper extensions. All right, benching actually went decent. We built up to the heavy single that we wanted, which I was happy with. So again, I just wanted him to test 130 kg coming in here. Want to make sure it feels good. Then he did floor press, back off work, dumbbell rows, dumbbell tricep extensions. But I want people to note that we're simplifying a lot of the assistance work, right? We're simplifying it going into the meet because, again, his meet is this month. So now everything is going into program singles. There's no 5-3-1 type stuff. We're using very limited accessory, but keeping enough volume to keep gaining muscle. But things are changing a little bit. But I really wanted to simplify some of that because we don't need a lot of different exercises at this point for him. Right? We don't need that. We don't need to complicate everything with him walking back into the meet. We want the focus to be on singles while maintaining enough volume to stimulate hypertrophy. But again, I don't necessarily want to hit as many angles for him going in because we don't need it. And he has limited recovery, right? He just moved. We've got to deal with the stress for the first time doing a meet in a while. So trying to address that on the recovery end. Whereas in some of my conjugate type lifters, which I may push them over to conjugate coming up, but some of my conjugate type lifters, they might do a lot of different accessory stuff going in still, but it's different. We program different for them. There's a different mindset walking into it. So if people saw some of Antonio's stuff going into his last meet, because he does run a vlog, we did a ton of accessory, still walking in up until a week out from the meet. But, in Jack's case, I'm trying to avoid overuse on certain things. We start to notice some issues from pull-ups and curls and stuff if we're not careful. So, again, these things are cut out. And I want to just focus on, meat and potatoes. And the floor press addresses some of those weak links. We're making sure the upper back's getting work by focusing on rowing. Triceps, we're sticking just with the movements that are going to impact his weaker links on his bench press. Right? And again, so we also did one arm dumbbell rows again here. And then we get to deadlift day at the finish, and it was much, much smoother. This time he pulled 230 kg, which is around 508 pounds, with the stiff bar, with the calibrated plates. And of course he keeps saying it's because it's kilo plates. No, it's not because they're kilo plates, it's because they're calibrated steel plates. All right, they have a different center of gravity relative to the bar. So it's just because they're made out of steel instead of iron. And again, that's something that people need to be aware of, is the amount of bar whip. Right? The amount of bar whip matters. Okay, and we get less of it. So it's kind of a big deal. You're going to get less bending of the bar with these calibrated plates. And it matters depending on where your weak links are. Like, it doesn't affect me because I don't even lose strength off of a deficit. A lot of lifters do. But I'm very happy with that. And he's going to go up again this coming week. Right? We're going to go up again on all these singles. And again, then he does his back off fives. We do our fives to back off. He does his good mornings, and then he did his hyper extensions. And again, that heavy focus for him on things like hamstrings and pectorals, because this is really what we need for him. Really what we have to have for his benching and his deadlift. All right, squatting is honestly, to be fair, squatting is simply a matter of gaining muscle. All right, and people don't like to hear that. But the best thing you can do for your squat is to just get bigger, particularly the lower body. And obviously the back and stuff also. Just get your whole lower body bigger. Your squats go up. So anything that builds your lower body will build your squat. Okay, and you can address weak links. You can address technical stuff. You can address rate of force production. But if you just get bigger, your squat goes up. And that's what the data shows. Deadlift is not necessarily the same. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.